So I've had this random idea to make this D-Day kind of thing where the Allies will be invading Germany. But here's the thing: it's this is a World War One game, first of all, but it has the ability to for me to make a D-Day map. So I could try and do that. Um, who should I use? France, Britain, Germany. No, what did they? Yeah, Muddy Field, I guess. So, um, for the Germans, they'll need MG42s. The money 9999. Insane. Map length. Let's make it large, and it will be not raining. It'll be sunny. Actually, it will be raining. There will be artillery barrages, tanks, and yeah, I think we're ready. So, when I thought of this idea, I didn't think of sharing any stuff about D-Day, because then I'd have to look into it. I have to research, but then I thought I'll do it. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that eventually. When we start this, I'll be giving some fun facts. I guess maybe some facts about how the Allies landed, how they tricked the Germans into thinking they were gonna go to a different area. Yep, this is where the British will attack. Let's put in some decorations, some trees. Charge! So I guess I should tell some stuff about the D-Day. So first, the Allies, with great planning, had tricked the Germans into thinking they were landing at Calais, but they were not. They were landing in Normandy. Yes, they were landing at Normandy. They had millions of troops from many countries, because Britain still owned lots of colonies at the time, and they had thousands of ships. At the start, they were just there to launch artillery barrages to weaken up the defenses, like this. They'd weaken up the boxes, the troops. They wouldn't really kill many people. Then the landings had started, so they landed these places, and they take down the Germans, and they start winning. They're doing pretty good. They're starting to win. But from the German perspective, they're encircled. So, they're still concerned, but, my opinion, I wouldn't be too scared. I would think, well, we encircled them, so, why are you guys scared? But, as you can see, there were millions just ready to attack. And I'm not sure if the Germans were, just caught off guard, or they saw that the leadership may have been too strong for them. But yeah, so they pushed in, they freed France, and the Soviets. Fun fact: Soviets reached Berlin first, because the Germans saw them as not as much of a threat as the Americans, which was 100% probably true. Which means, I guess, Stalin got the glory. He was like, haha, I reached Berlin first. Ha ha. Ha ha. In many cities, there were battles with Americans and Germans, and most battles would lead in American wins, because Germans would focus on the MG42s. So they'd focus on them. They'd try and put them in strategic areas, which was smart. But they could not adapt. Say their MG42s were killed. They could not adapt. They'd be done. Dead. That would be the end of them. No more. They wouldn't be dead, but they'd try to adapt. But they couldn't adapt as well as the Americans. Now see, if the MG42s were put at a place that was hard for the Americans to attack from, then they would reposition. They would adapt. They would, adapt. They knew what to do. Their officers could adapt. Their officers could put their people in places, and their weapons were, as mobile as theirs, kind of. They had different abilities. Theirs could shoot in shorter ranges and farther ranges, depending on the weapon. But so let's count this as the first landing. We will follow this up by the second, then the third, and hopefully the fourth will be the last one. Now in the second, we will add, let's just make them France. Actually, no, I don't want them to do France. Let's think. It'll be Russia. So Russia will be pushing from this side. So I'll make Germany from this side. You will see how the Russians, I mean, not Russians, Soviets had it easier than the Russians. I mean, than the Allies, because the Germans had less defenses. So there'd only be like a minimum number of trenches, only like 2 boxes, and the Germans wouldn't be sending many troops to fight. So Russians, they push in easily. They take air advantage, naval advantage, sure, I guess. I don't know much about that though. Oh, well, there go the flamethrowers. So they take the advantages. The Germans are still defending their eastern flank, just not as much as the Allies, as I said multiple times. And the Russians push them back. Then the Germans get pushed back. Germans look at their allies, they say, Japan, okay, oh wait, no, they're not gonna help us. They're like a few thousand miles away from us. So they're like, no, they're not gonna help us. So they're alone. They have to fight by themselves because Italy, they sued for peace. So they're like, I'm gonna head out now. It was all fun and games till they were invaded, and they were like, okay, I quit, don't do this to me. Let's send in some more tanks. The Russians had many more people as reserves. The Germans, as you can see, did not. They had very little people. And the Russians could industrialize even more than the Germans. Even as the Germans would push into Russian or Soviet Union territory, the Soviets would be able to bring out tanks and more people than the Germans. And this is why they reached Berlin. Now, let's go back to the Allies. So, at the end, Germany's defenses have been pretty much practically just destroyed, and this is kind of like the last defense that Germany has left. They can't do much but just fight till the very last man. Many other rebellions would still be in the war after the war would be, or not in the war, but they would like be fighting even after the war has ended. But they would be put down, in a few years. It's not that much. But yeah, so this is the last defense. Russia has almost reached Berlin. Hitler has killed himself, and this will be the end of the war and the start of a new time, a new war, a cold war, a very, very cold war. Boom. Gas, haha. I just gassed them all. They're gonna choke. Send in the artillery, send in the tanks, send in everything. Why so much gas? I hope these guys don't die to the gas, because okay, good. So, they push in from both sides, yes. Russia reaches Berlin first, then followed by the Americans. Battle of the Bulge leaves big bulge that leaves a bit of Americans under siege. They are relieved by more American forces, and then Russia then falls later after using up all their might in the Battle of the Bulge, pretty much. So it was a valiant effort, but they were evil people. They killed millions of people because they were not seen as good enough for their race, and that is just not good. Everyone should be equal and everyone should be treated correctly. So I am glad Germany was taken down. And hence, this is the end. Oh wait, we're losing. Oh wait. Oh wait. Oh wait. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe, please. Have a nice day.